Hey guys, this is Crispy.
And this is Bread, and we are going to take a look at Divinity 2 Original Sin. This is going to be a first impressions because I have played like 15 minutes of it so that I can, move and do some basic stuff, but I know very little about this game. That's why we still have the tutorials up. Welcome to the character creation screen. Here you can select an origin character or create a custom hero. Understood. Okay. So what Crispy and I are going to do once we get far enough that we've actually assembled a party is go ahead and do like we have in other games with multiple characters. I control some, she'll control some. For now, it's going to be me running around with this guy because I have to be the undead guy. It's just what I have to do.
It's just his thing.
What class do I want to be? Okay, 2 initiative, 5 extra crit chance. I heal from poison. Regular healing will damage me instead. Play dead. Time warp. Okay. So, Metamorph, Night, rush forward in a straight line to a designated point, hitting all enemies in your path with 21 to 24 physical damage. Crippling blow, set crippled, damage is based on your basic strength, basic attack, and receives a bonus from your strength. I can't read today. Battle Stomp, smash your weapon to the ground, knocking down non-allied characters. Clears non-cursed surfaces and clouds. So, I'm thinking about being an Inquisitor with Feign, because if you look, just see, like he's in armor in this. If you listen to his origin story, it looks like he's intended to be this, because that's the way he's dressed.
Oh, don't stare. How would you look after eons in some ghastly crypt? Your people are rather prone to death. Mine are not. Yet when I emerged from my completely unjustified imprisonment, I found them gone. Our culture forgotten. Any trace of the world I knew all but obliterated. I must even hide my true face beneath an ever-shifting mask for fear you savages will attack me. That is how I wander this strange world. Trying to uncover the truth about a history you primitive people never even knew existed.
Not sure how I feel about him. Like, I can't tell if he's going to be a good guy or a bad guy in the long run. This is the class that I actually played around with that I find kind of entertaining. Like, this game, it reminds me a lot of Magicka in a way, in that you're kind of setting stuff up to do different things. Like, I make it rain on them, and then they're wet, and then I electrify them, and it'll set an area like all electrified for a certain number of turns and deal damage, and it can stun enemies. Conjure Incarnate, a personal elemental that matches the ground surface it's summoned onto. Your Incarnate can be buffed with infusions. Once you hit summoning ability level of 10, a Colossal Incarnate champion will answer your summons. Dimensional Bolt, Elemental Totem. Each turn, this totem will fire a projectile at enemies in sight. Okay. Cleric. Sets decay, so the target will take piercing damage from healing spells and potions. Battle Mage, a Shocking Touch, Battering Ram, Blinding Radiance, Wizard. That looks intimidating.
I
Witch,
wouldn't want to mess with him if I saw that.
Raised Bloated Corpse, Chloroform, Mosquito Swarm. I think I'm gonna be a witch.
Okay.
Do you know what kind of class you want to be for the first person we recover for you?
Not yet.
If it doesn't just pick their class?
I think it does.
It just picks their class?
I'm not sure. Well, I've read both, so never know which one's true.
Okay. So, appearance. I went with snow in the last one. That face. That hairstyle. That beard, but I don't feel like the beard looks good on the skeleton. Like, yeah, that'll do. Preset. Oh, you have finesse abilities too. Damage is based on your level and intelligence. Oh, this is going to end up giving me what I want. Roguey abilities. And, well, necromancy. Persuasion, necromancer, scoundrel, finesse, intelligence, and constitution. So you'll learn this about me if you watch me play games like Fallout. I build squishy glass cannon characters. It's just the way I am. So I'm taking the point out of constitution. And we will put it in intelligence for now. What abilities, guys? Throwing knife. Throw a knife at your opponent, dealing 16 to 17 damage. Can backstab. Jump over the enemy, landing behind their back, backstabbing them. Based on basic attack. Destroys 6 to 7 magic armor and then sets the sleeping. Okay, so yeah, we will keep chloroform, I guess. Target a corpse to raise a bloated cadaver that fights for you. It can explode, dealing physical damage. Bloated corpse will be summoned at the location of your targets. Blows up your target. Mosquito swarm, restore up to 8 vitality depending on damage. That will deal set bleeding for 2 turns. Damage is based on your level. Okay. Target character consumes blood surfaces around them, restoring vitality. The more blood, the more vitality they will heal. Up to 17 depending on relevant surface. Decaying touch. Set decaying for 2 turns. Damage is based on your level and receives bonus from intelligence. I think those will do for now. Talents. Leech. What does it say? Heals you when standing in blood. It feels really situational to me. Elemental affinity lowers the action point cost of spells by 1 when standing on the surface of the same element. Doesn't really help me. Nor does arrow recovery. Gives you 3 extra memory. So memory, right now you only start with 3 skills, but memory is what bases how many skills you can set. Like as you learn new abilities, you'll be able to have more than 3 set. Keeps you from dying. Lets you flee with an enemy next to you. Glass cannon. You start every combat round with maximum AP, but magic and physical armor do not protect you from statuses. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna be a glass cannon. Yeah, for now.
It's fitting with how you play.
So, with a little bit of playing that I've done, the different tags that you get, they affect chat options. Like, it'll say Mystic next to it and give me a chat option, or Scholar and give me a chat option. I'm also, Fane is the character, Human, Male, Undead. All of those will sometimes give you chat options too. I haven't seen one for Male, but I've seen one for the other three. And this is the coolest feature by far that I've encountered in this game. It's the little things that impress me. Basically, it sets the instrument that plays for this character's combat, as I understand it.
Me, that's my favorite. But that's just me.
I like the tambura. Start. Beware, playing as an undead poses unique risks and benefits. Undead must veil their true selves from the living or risk being attacked. Healing potions and spells will damage you, while poisons heal. Undead can pick locks with a bony finger alone and can survive the scourge of Death Fog. I have no idea what Death Fog is yet. Are you sure you're done with character creation? Yeah. Done as I'm gonna be.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
Sorry, cat was on the counter. Trap disarming kits work on pits and something else, and mines too, I think that's what it said.
Well now, aren't you a curious sight? If I'd had a mask to hide my bones as well as yours, maybe I'd still be walking around today. Where'd you get it? There can't be many curios like that in the world.
Boast that you crafted it yourself, using a tool to rip the faces from mortals.
Is that a fact? And your voice? You ripped that from them too. I've never heard such silken tones from a naked skull.
Admit that your voice is something of a trick. Your words and tone are projected directly into the minds of others.
Ha! Should have known it was a parlor gimmick. Still, you'd best keep that mask on. The living don't take kindly to seeing their future staring back at them.
So yeah, as an undead, right now...
Oh my, these smelling salts are strong stuff.
You click to move. Middle mouse button spins camera, zooms in and out. So, with this mask that he's got, it has the faces of all the different races on it. As a result, if I want to be a human today, well, today I'm a human.
Something has changed. You are you, but more. You are another, but not. You look to your hands, your belly, your feet. Flesh you don't know, molded into unfamiliar shapes. You cradle your aching head, where another's memories and wisdoms mix with your own. Your fingers trace a line from your head to your face, feeling not the creases of the mask, but the porous surface of new skin. You lower your arm, blink twice, and step forward in this new guise.
Oh, kitty, stop it. I've learned a new skill as a result of being a human.
No known associates. In fact, he seemed quite
Combat abilities. I think I get that from being human. An extra bartering thing. Where do I...
Now, where did I leave my calipers?
I'm pretty sure it gives you an ability called Encourage, but I don't know how to... do it. How to find it. And these are healing items for me, the poison flasks are. You can also wear different helmets. I think as long as it covers your face, you're good.
I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Well, let's go talk to this lady.
Spelling sorts of strong stuff.
I'll try to jump right into it, because there's a lot to explain.
There. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash.
I'ma kill you.
In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
That's what I was talking about, where I had Scholar and Mystic. It gives me these options. Muse that by the room's shape you can tell you're on a Lucian-class frigate, but why?
Why? Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
I'll take my leave. So, I've also learned... I don't have much sneak... Well, wrong thing. Hang on. I don't have much sneak skill, but... Well, where is it? Skill panel. That's not what I was looking for. Toggle actions. That's what I'm looking for. So, like, you can enter sneak mode, and it puts you in a barrel, and then you can steal things. But if I steal things and they notice, they will come looking for it and then search me.
What a well of knowledge this tome is.
Oh, that's not
Dennis is
suspicious
such a
at
dear
all.
lending it to
No
me.
one will ever notice the barrel.
Not suspicious at all.
A young magister stands pale and silent. Her knuckles whiten around her weapon as you pass.
Nice to see you too.
Did the murderer take him into this room?
Behind the magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
I'm gonna peer into the room and ask what happened.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you were busy getting your collar fitted at the time, or you'd be a suspect like the rest of them. Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who did it. Always does.
Pause. Always does? Ask if this sort of thing happens often.
You surprised? You're one of them. You know what sorcerers are capable of? Whoever did this found a way around their collar and killed a man. Small ones this time, thank the gods. We'll find out who did it, one way or another.
one way or another.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here? Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Inform her that she wasn't this man's protector, she was his captor.
Finn didn't see it like that. He was desperate for us to help him. Two things scared the living daylights out of him. His own shadow and his own source.
So let me ask you a question, Christy. Take a look at her hood and tell me how she could see. I don't feel like
Good question.
if I wore that hood, I could see a thing. She must shoot like a stormtrooper.
We'll find out who did this. Speaking of,
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Tell her that's a trick you haven't quite mastered.
I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
Laugh. She really thinks you'd help a magister? Someone who's keeping you under lock and key?
Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not one of us. We want to find who did it and bring them to justice. Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Can I cast this spell on that? No, I don't want to do that because it blows up. So, feels like it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, probably.
Ooh, barrel. And in this game, you don't have to click on the doors to open them. You can just click in the room, and they'll go through the door if it's unlocked. Ooh, rope. I want the rope. I saw it.
Nothing left to do, really.
And another barrel. A mug of beer. A heady brew with a layer of thick, creamy foam. Gold. Milk still warm from the udder is what it said. Bedrolls let you rest. I've not used one yet. Oh, hi, Sabine.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice onto the surface of a barrel. They sound like the dry cackling of an old witch.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
Wonder what she's doing.
Rolling dice. Deciding fates.
Laugh. Can she read the future in cow entrails as well?
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. But I can read the past in flesh. One of the perks of being an elf, you see. I'm quite good at it, too. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before last. Shall I?
You don't see why not. Extend your arm.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue, efficient like a cat grooming.
What would have happened if I were still in undead form?
She'd be licking bone, I guess.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, watching, staring at them, hoping that none would stare back. You were thinking of flesh, or, to be rather more precise, the pleasures of the flesh, those that have eluded you for so long.
I'm undead. I don't think he would have the same.
I don't either.
gonna tell her that she's right, though.
Of course it is. The truth's right there, skin deep, so to speak. But don't you worry, darling. Your secret's safe with me. I don't lick and tell.
Gonna walk away
She
now.
smiles contemptuously.
Just a kitten in a corner, aren't we?
It was one of them. I know it.
So so some of you guys have realized watching me play Darkest Dungeon that I apparently miss everything. And you know what? If I have Crispy sitting next to me while I play this, she won't let me miss anything. She's gonna be like, search that.
Husband,
Okay.
would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not at all brat-like babes that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical.
Play along. Take her arm with a grin. Tell the children they must be mistaken.
How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else.
That's right, Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb.
What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we?
Say that's true enough. Shake her hand. Losi, you presume?
You presume right.
Or was it Losa? She said Losa.
I think
Losa.
it's Losa.
Ask if she knows anything about the murder that happened on board.
Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better.
Tell her she ought to have a look around with you. You can watch each other's backs.
Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
What happens if I steal their ball? Would that be mean?
Yes, that would be mean.
I'll give you that knuckle if you keep carrying on.
Don't run away. I want to talk to you.
Name?
Who wants to know?
Divine Order wants to know. Well, you aren't here on my list. Scram, eh? We're trying to catch a killer here.
Scram, eh? We're trying to catch a killer here, eh?
I'll tell you if you can keep it quiet long enough for me to listen.
So, I'm going to go talk to the Red Prince, because I have done this before, and this conversation, you need it in your life, and then I think that's all the time we're going to have for the first episode. I'm sorry we spent so much time in the character creation. If, moving forward, it's going to run a little faster than this.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything. Well, well. What have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse.
Okay.
Click, dang it.
All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Humor him. Let's see where this leads.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
Say you can, but your sense of taste isn't what it used to be. Undead.
And of course, a cook who can't taste is about as useful as a dog in a chess game.
Well, okay.
On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Most certainly. Tell him, given a sheet of satin, you can make a bum look like a baron.
Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satisfactory answer indeed. On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
Say, you most certainly have personal pride. You're no stranger to combs, powders, and perfumes.
The very basics, then. I suppose that's a start.
Okay.
So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate, shall we?
I'm sorry, a lot of the times I don't click continue because I'm used to games. They'll say it and then they'll just continue on to the next bar.
As per your own testimony, you can tailor and groom, but you have the taste buds of a dung beetle.
Do dung beetles have taste buds?
I don't know.
Still, beggars can't be choosers. So without further ado, I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave.
Say what?
Tell him you have half a mind to punch him in the face.
You should probably come to terms with the fact that you've half a mind, full stop. Rein in your impertinence, will you? I'm a fair man, but I won't spare the rod. Anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duties once we reach Fort Joy. Now shoo!
I'm gonna steal a kitchen pot, 2 kitchen pots.
As soon as the Inquisitor gets here, we'll hang you right over the side
Take
of
this
the
apple
ship.
juice. And that is going to be all the time we have today, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, dislike if you don't like what we're doing, and please comment. All feedback is good feedback in my book.
Have fun, guys.